G'day guys, and welcome back to the Backyard Workshop DIY. Today I'm going to take you through how I made this lovely little cheese board in under a couple of hours for under $10. Before we get stuck into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and that you've hit that notification bell so you get notified when I put out new content. Let's have a look. Okay, so I've got this lovely little bit of spotted gum here that was $2 out of the scrap pile at Urban Salvage. I've had it sitting on the shelf for a while. Now it's a matter of working out my shape from here. We definitely want this nice pattern here. So just for your sake, got like a hook handle into a paddle. That's kind of what we're looking for. So first step is to head over to the bandsaw and start cutting out that rough shape. At this stage, I'm not too stressed about the perfect shape. It's about getting it close. Using relief cuts here, as you can see, nice and close together, so when I go to cut out the curve, it makes my life a little bit easier. As I said, I'm not too stressed about the exact shape because I'll be jumping over to the sander in a tick to finish out these rounded edges. Now, if you don't have access with this sander like this, you could do this with your standard orbital or by hand. This just makes it a lot easier. Key thing is to keep it moving. Don't want to sit flat or I will create a flat spot, and I'm not looking for that on this handle. I want to make sure I round it off nicely, so hence keeping it flat on the deck and moving, then into the bottom corners to round those over. Now that I'm happy with the shape, it's time to put a nice round over on all the edges to make sure there's no sharp bits and it just feels nicer in your hand when it's finished. On this particular board, I'm just doing a really gentle round over because I feel that's what's going to give me the best end finish. Mole on the handle here is a hanging hole, got a 25mm Forstner bit. Really important when you are using Forstner bit, make sure you are stopping and clearing out all the waste there. Too much left in there will start it heating up and potentially burn your wood. Also, you'll see I've got a sacrificial piece underneath because I really don't want to drill into my bench. Next step is one of those finer touches, and it's putting a round over inside of that hanging hole in the handle. Last thing you want to do is finish everything off nicely and forget to do these little things. With all the shaping done, got to sanding on this particular project. Started with the orbital sander with a 180 grit and worked my way all the way up to 400 on the orbital. It included making sure I had those edges nice and smooth, but just added a little bit of extra finish. I started doing some hand sanding and went again, starting at 180 on the curves all the way up to 1200 grit. Okay, about to hit up to 320, but before I do that, a bit of water here. One, get all the sand sawdust off. Or two, get any of those fibres that are there to stand up. So, as I said, the purpose of wetting it down was twofold. One, to help clear away any sawdust that was sitting on the surface, but two, what it does doing that mid-sanding is gets any loose fibres to stand up, and means when I run over them with the next grit, we help smooth those out. Next came my absolute favourite part of any project, and that's adding the finish. For this, I'm using Walrus oil, chopping board oil. Food safe, needs to be, given that it's a serving board or a little cheese board, but just a wipe on oil and it brings the grains to absolute life. I love this part of the process. Now, to make this cheese board really last, on top of that coat of oil, we're going to be putting some Walrus oil chopping board wax just to really seal everything in. The wax is super easy to apply. It's just a rub on. I've heated up a little bit just to make it a bit more pliable because my shop's so cold at the moment. But just rub that over all the surfaces. Then I grab an old pair of work sops and use them to buff it out. So there you have it, guys. So I made this beautiful little cheese board for under $10 in one afternoon. Challenge is now for you to go and do the same. If you've enjoyed the video, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. Most of all, have a good one, guys.